honestly, pictures don't do justice to just how beautiful Munnar is. And it gets even more beautiful as the clouds come in, it gets even more beautiful as the rain comes in, which I won't really say about too many places. But there's a few things that I wish we'd known before we came to Munnar, and we hope that people had told us about before we came to Munnar. And while this might look like a controversial video, it's designed to help you, to prepare you for Munnar, right? Some of the things that we noticed and we want you to be aware of, right? So in no particular order, the first one is getting to Munnar. We rented an Innova, a taxi, for 4 nights and 5 days. Because we're going to a few other places from here. So you get a fixed price with a fixed number of kilometers and a driver that's also your guide from Kochi, but you can also do it from other cities, and you come to Munnar. We did it from Kochi. It's about 3.5 hours drive here. It was a really comfortable drive, but you have to understand that Munnar is extremely tourism. It's like extremely tourist centric. I don't know what the word is, but it's just like commercial. It doesn't look like it, but it is. So for example, all the taxi drivers that bring you here, they get a commission on every activity that you do, right? So 99% of the drivers will first start with a lunch on the way, then they'll take you to the chocolate factory, to the tea estate, to a plantation, kind of a spice plantation, which is just a spice garden on the way, an Ayurvedic garden of some kind on the way. And then they'll ask you to do like a 4-hour jeep ride to go to some echo points and some picturesque places. They will also kind of take you to, anything that you want to do. They have a spot for massages. They'll tell you like, oh, the best place is outside your hotel, right? And the reason is because they get a commission from all of these. So how do we know this? We just know this because the first restaurant we went to, even the menu had a different price to what was there on Google with respect to pictures of the menu, right? So we were able to go to the restaurant's Google page, actually look at pictures of the menu from like 2-3 months ago, and we were paying 100 rupees more, right? And of course the drivers get free food for that. So my recommendation is when you start, tell the driver that you will pay for all their food and to take you to good restaurants, or pick good restaurants and places that you want to go to. So you need to somehow figure out how to get around this commission culture, right? And it's not a matter of like, okay, this is how they make money and it's fine, but it takes away your time from doing really good stuff. It takes away your time from going to actual plantations, spice plantations. It takes away from your time for going to non-touristy stuff, right? So that's my kind of negative about it. So just be prepared with that, right? Now, Kerala is one of the most kind of educated states. It's very safe, it's great for women, but it's also one of the most highly unionized states. So the second problem is, anywhere that you go, if you go with your taxi driver, you're not gonna get additional services. So for example, if you go to a hotel and you say, hey, can you book me a Jeep in the morning to go see the sunrise? They won't be able to do it. So the taxi drivers have their own union, the Jeep guys have their own union, the tuk-tuk guys have their own union, and you have to somehow figure out how to navigate this. This is a very subtle thing because you would go to a hotel and you would expect like them to have contacts for, hey, take me on a Jeep ride, but no, they will not entertain it because you've come with a taxi, and the taxi driver, he pretty much owns the commissions off you, right? And this is quite prevalent in a lot of places in India. You go to Goa as well, the same thing. If the taxi driver brings you to a hotel, you're paying a lot more than if you were to book it directly, right? So the second thing we'll try to tell you is like you need to also navigate these unions, right? So if you want to go like take a 4x4 Jeep for a sunrise, you need to book it yourself, right? If you let your taxi driver book it, it's going to be easier, but it's going to be more expensive, right? And it also might not be the best. And this is our biggest problem. For example, our taxi driver suggested a massage place, but if you looked at the reviews, it was 4.7 on Google, but most of the reviews were like, either planted there or they seemed without any kind of basis, right? Which brings us to the third point, Google reviews. And overall in India, like we're always prepared, we do research when we travel all over the world, but in India, Google reviews are very subjective. And in some cases, you don't even know whether Google reviews are real, they're planted, they're bought, they're sponsored, and you can easily go to a place that has 4.7 and be really, really bad, which is a very hard lesson to learn. So anything that you go, like try and find out those reviews from especially from websites that can only let you review if you've stayed there or if you've bought the product, right? So from Booking or from Agoda or something. But you can't do that for massage places, you can't do that for restaurants, you can't do that for a lot of places, right? So you need to just be aware of that. So Google reviews mean nothing to me, right? Especially when you'll have a 4.9 and it's 7 people who've given the review or 9 people who've given a review. Or you have a massage place that has 4.7 with 3,000 reviews, and turns out it's where all the taxi drivers go, and it's like best of the worst, right? Number 4 is kind of tying down to the first thing, which is know where you want to go. If you're going to leave the whole kind of sightseeing to either your guide or your taxi driver, then you'll definitely end up doing the tourist stuff. And when I mean the tourist stuff, it's like literally the same picturesque point, the same waterfall, the same of everything. And if you're doing that for 2 days, it's fine. You want to get the check in the box and get over with, great. But we personally, we don't like that. We like to go to places where we can walk, tea states that we can just walk freely. And it's very difficult to find that in Munnar. Okay, very, very difficult. A lot of times you have to look through a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of reviews, or even just driving, you have to be like, hey, where does that road go? Oh, it's to another hotel. Okay, can we walk on it? Fine. Really know where you want to go in Munnar will help you. That's another thing I wish we'd known and we'd planned rather than leave it to our driver or to the tourism. Because I mean, even though it's a very pretty city or town, so area, you don't really want to go to all the places where all the tourist buses come to. I think finally, overall, I would say like come to Munnar, but don't have much expectations of what you actually see in YouTube videos. Everybody's getting paid for their reviews. Luckily, we don't do this full time. We don't do this for money at all. Actually, we don't make any money from this. I wish we did. So we don't get anything, but we like to kind of let people know, because it's my first time in Kerala. I was really looking forward to Munnar, and it was really, really hard for us to now find places that we could go to that were not tourist, like not tourist specific, not just like, so some of the examples I'll give you. For example, you go to the chocolate factory. Don't buy anything from any of these places that you go to, purely because they're super expensive. Chocolate factory, 1 kilo of chocolate is 1,600 rupees. Go to Munnar market, it's 500 rupees. You get stopped at the plantations, 2,300 rupees for ashwagandha root extract. 2,300 is roughly 25 euros. For 9.99 I can get the same in organic form, certified, quality checked, delivered to me, right? And you can also go to shops like the chocolate factory had this like medicated hair oil, and they were selling a bottle of just the herbs for 150 rupees. You go to Munnar market, the same bottle, exact same bottle, 30 rupees, right? It's a huge difference. And while it doesn't matter to a lot of people paying in dollars and euros, it really adds up on a daily basis. You're looking at like nearly paying 200-300% more on everything that you do every day, right? So if you're looking to buy stuff, banana chips, spices, oils, Ayurvedic stuff, chocolate, just go to the market. 80% of places in the market, they will treat you fairly. They'll give you tasters, samplers, and actually they were much better quality than what we were getting stuff in the chocolate factory and things like that. So that's really annoying. That's a tip that I wish somebody had told us. We would have actually avoided a lot of these places and just gone straight to the market and spent more time there. Okay, but that's the dark side. I'm sure more things will come up as to things that we wish we knew before we came to it. But for Munnar, I'm hoping that this helps everybody plan better. It helps you be prepared for it, but also it helps you enjoy more, right? Because you have limited time here. You want to enjoy the most of it. You want to enjoy from sunrise till sunset. So make sure you do that. I hope you like this, and let us know what you think. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I'd rather that people know, right? And also for all these guys who are doing these tourist traps, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work in the long term. Like, start doing stuff, start doing experiences, start building, trust that will help you get better tourists.